is Miss A from the Northeast Branch of Reading Public Library, and it is Wednesday, which means it's time for another Family Night Craft brought to you by Reading Public Library. And today we are doing one of my favorite easy STEM activities, which is called Bristle Bots. Have any of you made Bristle Bots before? They are a little bit famous. They are made with just the sort of brushy tip of a toothbrush. They're going to have a battery, a little motor, and then we're going to stick cute little googly eyes and legs onto them so they can just wander all around. They're super simple, and if you pick up your Go Pack from the Northeast Branch of Reading Public Library, it will have everything you need to make them. So let's get started. So let's check out what we have in this week's bag. So as always, we have a nice instruction sheet. Then you should also have our little brushy toothbrush head, a pipe cleaner, some double-sided tape, a battery, a rotating motor. That's the thing that looks like a little tube and it has two wires. And parents, make sure you keep this craft away from little kids because obviously things like this could be a choking hazard. And then finally, two googly eyes, and like all of our googly eyes, they are sticky on the back, so they have a peel away back like a sticker. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the back off of our battery, just so everything's out and open. I've zoomed in a little bit now so it's a little easier to see, but the first thing I'm going to do is take the toothbrush head, and you want to put the bristle side down because these bristles are going to help move our brush around. And we're going to put a piece of double-sided tape on top. So actually it might be good if you have them to grab a pair of scissors so we can cut this so it's a little closer to the sides of the toothbrush. If you would like scissors and you don't have a pair at home, let us know. At the library, we're happy to provide you with a pair. But otherwise, you can just fold the piece of tape on top of itself. It should be fine. Here's my little piece of double-sided tape. I'm just going to see about what size it is and trim it a little bit to size. You know, I'm actually going to cut it in the middle because if you see a little slit on it, here, that'll help you take off the backing. Okay, so I'm going to put the sticky side down first on my Bristle. And then once you have the sticky side down, you're going to get to that slit like I told you and peel off the red plastic so that way it'll be sticky. You should feel that once the red plastic peels off, it's sticky on the tape. Now this red stuff can go in the trash. So the next thing we're going to do is attach our motor. If you remember what this is, our motor. So we want the part with our tiny little propeller, if you can see it. This thing is going to hang off the end. So I'm going to try to bring this a little closer so it's easier to see. So we have our toothbrush and we are going to hang the motor off the end so that it can sort of whir around. Let me add a little more tape. Okay, so once you have tape all the way to the end, we'll take the motor and stick it on so you can see that's nice and stuck on the sort of tube part, but this little motor thing will be able to spin because it's not touching the back. So you can see there. I put it where the handle was broken off. It'll support it a little better. So now that we have it looking like this, we are going to attach the battery. So I'm going to move these wires out of the way, and we're going to stick the battery on there as well. So this is super important. Let's get this back into focus. The part of your battery that is marked with a little plus sign, if you look at it, one side has a plus, that should be facing up. I'll show you in a second. So you're sticking the non-plus side down on the tape and the plus side goes up. So let's get this into focus. You can see the little plus sign on the top. Actually, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift up the battery from where it was, and we're going to take one wire. We're going to twist it and put it underneath where that battery was, and then we'll stick the battery back on top. So let me show you what this looks like. So I've removed the battery now that I know where it's going to sit. I've taken one wire, it could be red or blue, stuck it there, and now I take my battery with the plus sign facing up and put it on top. Now what we're going to do is test the connection for the battery and see if it works. So we're going to take the red wire and touch it, and it should make that motor spin. So you can see it's not working right now. So we've got to fix it and see what makes it work. Okay, so if it doesn't work right away, you'll just have to move it around a little bit until it works. So I played around with mine, and now you can see, I think, let me hold it nice and close. But when I touch the red wire on top, the motor spins. When I take it away, it stops spinning. So again, that blue wire is underneath. You want to make sure exposed part touches the battery. Then we're going to touch the exposed tip of the red on top to make it go. The thing I actually did to make it work is I took a pair of scissors, of course, without the motor touching a battery or anything, and stripped away some more of the plastic or the rubber insulator so that it would touch the battery more. Okay, so now we need a way for our thing to move. So we're going to use our pipe cleaner to make feet. So I'm going to cut mine in half. You don't have to. But I'm going to make some legs here. So you want to make them about the same length. I'm going to make each of mine about 1/4 of a pipe cleaner long. And basically one's going to go on top. Let me see if I can zoom in anymore. Not really. One's going to go on top between the motor and the battery, just to help hold everything down. And the other is going to go on the bottom between the bristles. So you might have to scoot it in there a little bit. You can see there that it's scooted down in between the bristles, and then on top between the motor and the battery. Once that's situated, you want to twist the two pipe cleaners together so that they stick. If the battery falls off, just stick it back on. First, I'm going to twist it because we basically want our legs to go down so that they'll hold up our bristle bot. So you want to move them in such a way that the tooth bristles will still touch the ground. Basically, these legs are what's going to keep our bristle bot from tilting over and falling. So I'm going to put this back up here. Now we're going to add our googly eyes. This is just for fun. It makes our bristle bot look like a tiny little bug. So you want to stick the googly eyes on the opposite end from the motor. So the motor is back here, so we can think of that as our little bristle butt. So the eyes will go in the front. You can put them on top or on the sides. I'm putting mine on the sides here. Let's see if I can make it easier to see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I now have both eyes on my bristle bot. What I want to do now is take this red wire, make sure that our battery still works, otherwise adjust accordingly. Okay, I still work. It's also funny, if you look, my googly eyes are gonna move when the motor moves. It's pretty funny. Okay, but to get it to work, basically you want to attach it by either wedging it between the pipe cleaner or taking another little piece of tape you have left and sticking it on top. And then we'll leave it on the table to run. So I'm going to twist the wire, find a place where it runs. So basically, the Bristle bot is created using a simple circuit to run. So we have our battery, that's our power source. Our motor is running using that power source. It has a rotating motor, which is going to move along our Bristle bot. And our wires are basically just forming a circuit around this battery. So when they're separated, the circuit's broken, they'll stop running. When they touch again, the circuit goes again. So let's stick this on and see how it works. No need to take the red stuff off this time. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. And if you notice, it's going a little bit circular because one leg is longer than the other. Let's take off our tape to stop it. What do you think will happen if we move the way the legs are? You think it'll move in a different direction? Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, now it's moving straight and it is pretty fast. So play around with how the legs are and figure out a way that you like to position everything to have some fun with your Bristle bot. All right, friends, so that's it for this week's family night. If you had any problems with these, I know they're a little bit trickier, but just keep trying, and if you really struggle a lot, bring it back into the library and I'll help you. Just ask for Miss A at the front desk. I hope you had a lot of fun though, and I'll see you again next Wednesday for another family night craft. Bye, friends.